miss your cue on a movie set, and the worst thing that can happen is that you end up on the bloopers reel and the DVD extras. Unless you have a particularly harsh taskmaster as a director, in which case you could get told off as well. Let's face it, nobody likes getting told off. If you mess up in wrestling, however, the consequences are more severe. It's more often than not live, and even if it's not live in the sense of going out on TV as it happens, you're still being watched by thousands of unforgiving fans in the arena, many of whom are armed with camera phones to immortalise your mistake forever and have a go at you on Twitter. It's impossible to completely mask botches that alter the course of a wrestling match, but it is possible some of the time to at least improvise a new finish on the fly that sees the intended winner come out on top. And of course, some of the time it isn't. If it's a battle royal, for example, and someone who wasn't supposed to get eliminated ends up losing their footing on the apron, well, you're pretty much screwed. And if that does happen, then somebody else may accidentally become the winner, and it's well done to them. They lucked out. I'm Simon from What Culture, and this is 10 WWE matches that went totally off script. Number 10, Chris Benoit versus Muhammad Hassan. The finish of this match was supposed to be a smart way of maintaining rookie Muhammad Hassan's burgeoning undefeated streak whilst keeping Chris Benoit, just a few months removed from his world title reign, looking strong. To do that, Benoit needed to hit his diving headbutt in such a way that he appeared to land on the ring bell which Hassan was clutching to his chest. Fortunately, he didn't, which meant the veteran, knowing that no one would believe he was knocked out unconscious, had to go off script and kick out at 2. On the fly, Benoit presumably told Hassan to give him a low blow, thereby ending the match by DQ and, in theory, keeping the unbeaten run intact. As long as you define unbeaten as never being pinned or forced to tap out, obviously, and let's face it, WWE absolutely does. Number 9, Triple H versus John Morrison. Not only was the ending of John Morrison's 2009 SmackDown match with Triple H a little embarrassing, it was also extremely painful for the Shaman of Sexy, and that was his nickname at one time, who had to take a nasty bump to the outside twice after he missed the table first time around. Those who watched the tape recording of the show wouldn't have known that they messed it up, of course. It only became apparent later when those pesky fans uploaded the edited footage to YouTube, showing that the match's ending actually needed to be retaken. In the interest of protecting kayfabe, that is a thing anymore in 2018, it probably would have been better if the pair had improvised another finish after seeing their initial attempt fail, rather than just repeating the exact same spot minutes later. Almost like wrestling isn't real. Number 8, Gail Kim eliminates herself. Sometimes matches go off script accidentally. Other times, a wrestler at the end of their tether deliberately takes it upon themselves to blow a hole in their employer's plans. Probably not the best thing to do if you want to keep your job. Gail Kim didn't exactly derail the fate of the Divas Championship, since she was, of course, always scheduled for an early elimination. But she did perhaps let the cat out of the bag for any younger viewers yet to figure out the industry's secrets. Having grown frustrated at her lowly place on the card, the former TNA star eliminated herself from a 2011 Battle Royal by rolling under the bottom rope. Probably a little awkward when she went backstage afterwards, but in all honesty, probably well worth it. Still talking about it now. If she had just been eliminated, probably wouldn't care. Number 7, John Cena and Batista share the Rumble spoils. Ruthless aggression stars John Cena and Batista were both destined to win their first ever world titles at 2005's WrestleMania 21. One of them, Batista, was supposed to get there via the Royal Rumble. On the night, however, both men somehow ended up tumbling over the ropes at precisely, and I do mean precisely, the same time. A mishap which resulted in a furious Vince McMahon tearing both of his quads after storming down to the ring to try and restore some order. Luckily, they were able to restart the match with the final 2 competitors and ensure that the script was, in the end, adhered to when the Animal tossed his opponent over the top rope to book his place in the Mania main event in LA. But seriously, the fact this wasn't planned, but well done everyone, it really did look planned. Number 6, Vince McMahon versus Stone Cold. Fans disagree over whether this one truly went off script, or if it was planned all along for a debuting Big Show to throw Stone Cold into the steel cage wall with enough force that he won the match via escape. There are a few things that point towards the former though, namely that the fact it kind of killed Show's heat to have him emerge from underneath the ring canvas as the chairman's secret weapon, only to cost his new boss the match moments later. Pretty stupid if you ask me. Also, it was shortly after this bout, in February 1999, that WWE swapped its traditional bulky steel cage for one that more closely remembered the walls of a dog pen, the one that we're used to now. Does this all tie in? Or am I just being a conspiracy theorist? Nobody will ever know. Well, some people know. You know what I mean. Number 5, Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles. There were 1 or 2 reports last year that the finish to Kevin Owens' US title match with AJ Styles at Battleground in July didn't go according to plan. And the fact that AJ, having dropped the belt to Kevin Owens on Sunday, reclaimed it less than 48 hours later on the follow-up SmackDown Live would appear to lend those rumours some amount of credibility. The finish certainly looked somehow off. The ref bump that preceded an awkward-looking 3 count had virtually no impact on the match's outcome, with the confused commentators left struggling to explain what they had just seen. According to those in attendance, AJ then spent a few minutes after the cameras were turned off chatting with the officials, which isn't exactly typical for a rule-abiding face. Something went down here, and we should investigate. Number 4, Caitlyn wins the Battle Royal. It was supposed to be Eve Torres, a reputable fan favourite slowly climbing up the Divas Championship ranks, who received a shot at Layla's title in mid-2012. But after an apparently botched ending, which really didn't appear all that botched on first viewing, unless you happen to catch the shocked expressions on just about everybody's face, it was a lesser-known Caitlyn who claimed the number 1 contendership mantle by winning a Monday Night Raw Battle Royal. Despite not being initially earmarked for a push, Vicky Guerrero's former protege ended up winning the belts months later and becoming embroiled in a bitter feud with Torres, the same woman she had inadvertently cost a shot at the belt through clumsiness and perhaps a little bit of good fortune. So there you see, even a mistake has a silver lining, so don't you worry about it next time you fall on your face. Number 3, Hardcore Holly wins the Hardcore title. Crash Holly, Hardcore Holly. Did it really make too much of a difference which one of them was carrying the Hardcore Championship? In the grand cosmic scheme of the universe? No, it didn't. And to the many fans who regarded both of them with the same shrugging indifference, it was also a no. It was a no all round. But whichever way you did lean, Crash was supposed to walk out of WrestleMania 2000 with the belt still around his waist. But it was his cousin who emerged from the time limit Battle Royal as champion. The consequence of a botched ending which saw Hardcore pin the defending champion too early, ruining the planned photo finish which would have seen Crash retained by the skin of his teeth. A lesson here, always keep an eye on the clock, of course. Never trust Hardcore Holly. Number 2, Jazz takes an early bath. Something always seems to go wrong when Gail Kim is involved with Battle Royals. In 2003, the rookie, in her first ever WWE match, claimed the Women's Championship after outlasting 6 others in a fierce battle for Jazz's crown. On paper, everything seemed to go according to plan, but watch the unedited version of the match and you'll notice something unusual. After taking a stiff-looking kick from Victoria, Jazz rolls towards the edge of the ring and signals to the referee that she's hurt, leading to her withdrawal from the contest. It is likely that the match would have crowned a new champion regardless, but the holder's early bath meant that it came down to Kim and Victoria instead of Kim and Jazz. Number 1, John Cena vs Sheamus. As far as we're aware, the Celtic Warrior was always supposed to cap off his brilliant rookie year in 2009 by winning John Cena's world title at December's TLC pay-per-view. But the ending doesn't exactly have the whiff of vintage WWE. Cena basically just loses his balance on the turnbuckle and crashes through the table in the ring, while Sheamus tumbles to the outside, cracking his ribs on a second table that had been turned sideways. According to reports, the original ending was supposed to see a double fall in which both men went through their respective tables at precisely the same time. However, the one on the outside was inadvertently knocked over in the throes of battle, with Cena forgetting to fix it in time for the finish. What were you thinking, Cena? You silly, silly boy.
Well done, you made it all the way to the end of the video. Now, I'm not just here to increase our market share with women aged 18 to 35, but to tell you to watch one of these other videos we've made that are probably quite good. So, go on, off you, that one or that one, they're both good. There you go.